Well, as we hold the line, as they ring the rest of the horses up, I am concerned that if this is our roundup skills with the working horses, what's our roundup skills going to be like with the non-working horses? Doesn't bode well, but we'll see. Since today was a round-trip ride, our arrival at the Highlands signified about 50% completion of the riding portion of today. It's roundup time. I got my wrist strap on just in case. And I got a hold of the horse. Are you ready? Well, you gotta do it again. Yeah.
It's freezing up here. It was really warm in the valley, but it's really cold up here.
It's pretty.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
And the herd is still being held. They took hold your horses literally, and they are sitting at the gate. Some are being renegades and they have run away because it took too long. You can lead a horse to the gate, but you can't make it wait. And also they're rounding up sheep back there. I don't know. This is like a multi-faceted roundup.
Reporting live from Iceland at the roundup, there has been a problem with some sheep who refuse to come down, and so they're rounding them up. And then of course you have some other horses that refuse to go to the gate. So we are currently waiting for further development in which all the animals figure out that getting out of said fence gets them food in the valley.
How long have we been standing here?
Too long.
Like actually it's been
how
like
long?
45 minutes or something. How long have we been here?
An hour?
An hour, so I was being underdramatic. Yeah. Problem children somewhere up there.
It's always the sheep.
Sheep. Breaking news. I think they caught the sheep. They've loaded them up, I think. They're headed down the hill, so maybe we can finally get on with the horse roundup because sheep roundup was last month, but those 6 or whatever fluff nuggets didn't get the memo. How's your dried fish?
Fishy. And crispy. Yeah.
Fish. How was your dried fish?
Very fishy.
What's your verdict?
Very good.
Good.
Oh.
Good.
We got 3 fishies and a good.
I like good. Here we go. Icelandic horse trailers were notably different than the US ones. They're compact, rugged, and purpose-built for Icelandic horses and harsh conditions, while the US trailers prioritize size, versatility, comfort, and long-distance hauling. The sheep finally go home. After what, an hour and 20? The Icelandic Highlands offer vast open space where horses can move freely, strengthening lungs, tendons, and hooves, conditions that shape the breed itself over more than 1,000 years. Highland grazing is a seasonal, communal, low-intervention system that blends practicality, ecology, and tradition, and remains central to Icelandic horse culture today. The horses are turned out in late spring to early summer, and brought back in late summer or early fall. The Highlands are not used year-round. Winters are too harsh, and forage disappears under the snow. The horses graze on shared communal lands, and animals from multiple farms mix freely, forming large, semi-wild herds. The owners identify horses by brands, microchips, or markings, then sort them during the roundups. During this grazing period, horses graze on native grasses, sedges, mosses, and hardy plants adapted to poor soil. No supplemental feeding is done. The horses must be self-sufficient and hardy. This helps maintain the Icelandic horse's reputation for strong feet, endurance, and resilience. The horses live largely untouched for months, developing strong social bonds and natural behaviors. Mares raise foals in herd settings, which contributes to excellent socialization. Highland grazing builds physical and mental toughness. It supports young horse development, especially for riding horses. It reduces feed costs and land pressure on lowland farms, and it preserves centuries-old pastoral traditions. Highlands grazing is regulated to prevent overuse. After severe erosion in past centuries, Iceland now carefully manages stocking rates, grazing duration, and sensitive vegetation areas, so some highland zones are closed or restricted to protect fragile beneficial soils. In the early fall, horses are gathered during retir, often alongside sheep. This is when the horses are sorted by owner, evaluated, and transported back to the farms. These are both working events and cultural celebrations, and I am so excited that we got to join them for this. However, we had been sitting and waiting long enough that I had done the math, and it felt like our tour group was so large that there was one horse and rider for every loose horse, and once we got going, the herd pretty much left us in the dust, so I don't think us tourists were all that helpful after all. We basically rode up, watched them get gathered, and then we just enjoyed our ride back. We did meet up with them for a break though about halfway through when they decided to stop to let the mares and foals rest because they weren't as fit as our riding horses, and it did get a little loud and rowdy and exciting there. We helped a tiny bit, like 0.1%, during that stop. The mares seemed like they just wanted to go back to the highland plateaus. They didn't want to go to the corrals. Go figure. Us tourists must have been so helpful that they sent us on our own way, so we split off from the herd and took our own route back. A little bit different than the route we'd taken to get to the highlands, but we left the herding of the loose horses to the professional farmers to finish out the last leg of our journey for the day. Now, I've mentioned in previous videos that the Icelandic horse is gaited, which means that it can do additional gaits outside of the normal walk, trot, and canter like every other horse can do. Now, in order to do these special gaits, this is actually a genetic mutation, which might be unsurprising to most people. Icelandic horses carry a mutation in the DMRT3 gene, often called the gatekeeper gene. This gene affects how the spinal cord coordinates leg movement. It allows the horse to move the legs laterally, so same side legs, instead of only diagonally, which makes extra gaits possible beyond the walk, trot, and canter. And many gaited horse breeds have this genetic mutation. For over 1,000 years, Icelanders intentionally bred horses that could travel long distances comfortably over rough terrain. Horses that showed smooth gaits and endurance were favored, reinforcing the genetic trait across the population. Because of this genetic mutation, Icelandic horses can perform the tolt, a smooth 4-beat gait with no moment of suspension, which is very comfortable to ride. They can also do a gait called the flying pace, skid, a fast 2-beat lateral gait used in racing. But not all Icelandic horses can do this one. Icelandic horses are built in a way that supports these gaits, with strong flexible backs, well-muscled hindquarters, and upright shoulders and balanced proportions. This structure helps maintain rhythm and balance during gaited movement. While the gene allows gaiting, training determines quality. Balance, collection, and correct riding help develop a clean, strong tolt. Poor riding or tension can cause gait breakdown even in gaited horses. Hopefully my pants don't ride up to my knees.
No river crossings today.
But not to count on it. We had been told no river crossings today, and so when I had gotten really hot earlier, one of the first things I ditched was my rain pants. Go figure. This rain pant debacle was continuing to be a huge inconvenience for me. Either I didn't have them on when I needed them, or when I did have them on, they were riding up. Maybe by tomorrow, the last day of our tour, I'll finally figure this out. I spent all of today mounted up on a solid chestnut gelding named Pan, and he moved to the top of my leaderboard as far as quality of horses go. We rode together for 32 kilometers today, and 8 hours in the saddle. Laura ranked herself a 3 on the soreness scale, and I went ahead and gave myself a 1.
And you have all seen this white thing here. Does anybody know what this is?
Wow, now this is a question. Every owner has his chute at his card where they collect their horses.
Exactly. The herd is coming probably somewhere here now, and they will stay for the night somewhere on a field close by. And then we will also drive here again tomorrow in the morning. And they will slowly, like group by group, put them in the middle of this circle. And then there's towards the outside, there's like many small paddocks, and each belongs to a different farmer. And then they can sort the horses out there. Usually they know their horses, but actually if they don't, all the horses are also microchipped, so you will probably also see some of them, especially with the young black horses. They are usually all there with a chip reader, like, who is this? And afterwards they will bring them home back to their farms. Some might load them on a trailer, but probably most of them will just drive them, like also like ride with them and bring them home.
So like most of these horses are just from the farms in the valley, but for example our valley is just the valley behind the hill, and we are missing 3 horses that didn't come down on our roundup. Only 2. And oftentimes if they're missing, they end up here because they just kind of cross the mountain and end up with a different herd. So we will look for 2 horses tomorrow. What kind of color? I'm not sure, Delia. What color are we? Well, the wind color is it's easy. Wind color. Yes. It's like this silvery mane with the
Dark purple.
like I will point it out to you.
I feel like maybe there's a different name in it.
Yeah, probably, but it's like this special color.
I love that.
So the farmer and discuss the price. Yeah.
And you can also, like, then tomorrow you can also go with inside these paddocks, like, just make sure you're not in the way of anybody, but it's very easy going, like, you can go inside and have a look. I'm just gonna tell you some information, not the real schedule, but just telling you a little bit what we are doing tomorrow. First of all, us as a team, we will bring the herd a little bit out of the valley again, but we'll just bring them along the road while you are here and watching the sorting. And then you will come with a bus where we are, because then we are in a nice position that we are close enough to the lake again, because tomorrow we want to cross this lake. Because if you're a bit closer to the ocean, then it's like a lagoon and it's not so deep. So in the beginning it's maybe like the rivers, but then afterwards it's just about this amount of water. So it's very nice to ride through, and the horses also love it.
So at this point in time, Laura says she's really not sore, but I've also heard her make comments about stiff muscles, and to prove my point, she had gone to use the hot tub tonight. So I'm thinking she might be a little bit sore, but ultimately where I'm going is she missed the nightly announcement of what we were going to expect the next day / in this case, night. So this roundup ball that I was super excited about, one of the main reasons I booked this tour, or at least a big draw for it, was this extra add-on of a roundup ball. I thought, how cool would that be? I went to a ball in Europe. I'm gonna go to a ball in Iceland. I love how Laura, I gave her this write-up that they have on the, website so she could mentally prepare for the next couple days we're holding. And she's focusing on oh, we're riding this many kilometers, and completely skipped the part on Saturday where there's an optional dance.
There's an optional
after the roundup.
I didn't even see that.
We're going to a ball in Iceland. But when Hoker the farm owner, was telling us about the ball. He was talking about how Icelandics, they don't start early. And to them, early is midnight. And I know Laura's not going to be excited about this when they're like, yeah, the party doesn't really start till 1. We'll go ahead and get there at like 11:30, and then we're going to leave at like 1:30 or something like that. And I'm just like, ooh, yeah, she's not going to be excited when she finds this out. So it's probably going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
No, I can't.
Yeah. And they start the marcha, which is like the party
so I
at like
have to
1.
take a nap to go at 11. And what time does it get over?
We're leaving at 1.
We're going to leave at 1.
He said 1, and then he went 1:30.
1 to 1:30, because it sometimes takes a while to round people up as we're dancing.
A.M.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
He said the Icelandics don't show up till
Hey,
midnight
but
or
it
1.
is, do they do daylight savings? Because this is the Saturday. They don't do it.
I don't know.
I bet not.
How do you
Laura,
feel
time
about
to
this,
rally.
Laura?
I don't think I can go. I don't think I can rally.
Rally.
I don't think I can rally.
We're going to find out tomorrow.
But we're not kidding.
Yeah, I know you're
no.
not.
Just in case you thought we were.
I don't
Anyway,
like
think on it for the night.
Good night.